Hi Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I am going to be doing your October 1st, 2020 full moon reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and also to subscribe to my channel. And if you would like to be notified whenever I upload new videos, and I upload all the time, just hit the bell notification button. And if you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will all be listed in the description box below. Now, before we begin this reading, let's clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from your body like storm clouds. Feeling yourself become calm, centered, and at peace as you enter into this safe and loving space. All right. So I'm just going to let the bowl sing while I move your Moonology and your Queen of the Moon cards over to the side. These will be layered, on top of the tarot to really give the moon a voice of her own. All right. So let's see here. How will Aquarius be affected by the October 1st, 2020 full moon? How will Aquarius be affected by the October 1st, 2020 full moon? How will Aquarius be affected by the October 1st, 2020 full moon? How will Aquarius be affected by the October 1st, 2020 full moon? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Okay. Now the left-hand side here, this is your inner self. The middle is your emotional, your spiritual self, your heart. And the right-hand side is your public self. So let's see what the cards have to say. So we have the Two of Wands. The world is opening up to you, which makes sense. This is the moon of beginnings. This is the Aries full moon, the warrior moon. And so things that you had once felt were insurmountable, things that you had once thought like, oh, I'll never get there. You start to see, oh, well, I can. Like, it's really cool. It's really nice. There's worries, doubts, and fears that come with your passion and your desire. It's like, oh my gosh, I want so much to move forward and so much to go after what it is that I need within my life. And then there's like all this chaos that comes up, all these reasons, these roadblocks that come in your way. And it's like, okay, calm, center yourself, focus your passion, focus your desire, because you're going to be choosing, you need to choose which battles to fight and which battles to kind of let go with the Seven of Wands, because not everybody's going to see your point of view. They're just not. They don't understand where you're coming from. And that's part of their journey is, to understand what they're doing. And so here with the Five of Swords, something karmic is coming up from this warrior moon. Taking this warrior stance is a karmic lesson for you, Aquarius. It's like, this is your passion, this is your truth, this is your desire. I will not back down. I will not, it's not being belligerent, but it is being forceful in your conviction of self and of soul, of what you desire and where you need to be. The repeat of the number 5, internally, you're looking for freedom. You are looking for freedom, you're looking for what you desire from life, and things are actually going to be resolved a lot more easily than you had anticipated. We have another 5, so now you have 3 5s, so that freedom theme, that, that things reaching a resolution. With the Hierophant, there is a passion and determination. There is a sense of gaining an understanding and knowing your truth. The Hierophant represents Taurus in the major arcana, and on the 31st of October, excuse me, the full moon is in Taurus. So that is going to have a very big emotional impact on you. It is a very beautiful full moon. It is a full moon that is a blue moon. It is also right near Halloween and Samhain. So it is a very, very powerful moon. We have the 7 of Swords, so you have the repeat of the number 7 here, meaning that you really won't be abiding liars, right? It's not like little white lies or, people who just kind of get caught up and let something slip. It's liars. It is somebody who will blatantly tell you one thing to your face and mean the complete opposite. The repeat of the number 7 moves you in truth, but also moves you in sacred knowledge. And then you have the Queen of Swords coming out in Aquarius. You're represented by the swords. In the minor arcana, by the star card. There we go. In the major arcana, this is you cutting through doubts and fears, knowing your mind. This is the warrior queen. So you coming together with the warrior aspect of Aries. This is going to be a fierce time for you emotionally. And you're looking at what the rest of the world is saying. And you're saying, you know what? That's just not my truth. It's not. It's not my truth. It's not my passion. It's not my power. You have the Page of Cups right here. This is, this is love coming in, water sign energy, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. But this is being a student of your heart in the public arena. You are a student of your emotions, a student of your heart, kind of thinking of things more long-term, looking at the way that you're moving forward, looking at the way things interconnect. And then you have the King of Swords, which I absolutely adore. You have the King and the Queen of Swords. You have, okay. So whenever I have the King and the Queen of the same suit in a reading, it is a soulmate connection. It is a true love connection. This could be really coming out in the Libra time frame on the 16th of October, which is when the new moon is. But this is a sense of balancing energy. This is a sense of balancing of the self, passion of the self, claiming that crown, putting it on your head and saying, I am king. I am king of my destiny. I am king of my soul. I am king of myself. You move forward to the Fool. You start. This is the moon of beginnings, and you start your hero's quest. You might sit there and think, oh my gosh, I'm absolutely foolish, or I'm actually foolish. I can't believe I'm doing this. But you start something that becomes absolutely beautiful for you. Temperance brings balance. Temperance brings an understanding. This is also a Sagittarius energy. November 22nd to December 21st is the time frame. You have that balance. You have that power coming in. And what's so beautiful is that on the 1st of October, we have the full moon in Aries. And this says a fiery climax approaches, a fiery coming together, a consecration of all that you have been working for, all that you desired. This is the beginning moon. This is the moon that lets you begin, that gives you that spark to assert yourself, to stand your ground, to know what you desire, because it is the archetype of the warrior. And as you step in as the warrior, you step in as the protector of what makes life worth living. You are rekindling the spark within your life, within your soul, within yourself, within your passion, within your power. You are tapping into this energy and you're making things happen. As you do so, you are going to focus on overcoming that which has held you back. And this is overcoming stress. All right. So you're going to look at things and you're going to sit there and go, that kind of freaks me out, And I laugh because you are going to go after what stresses you out the most. And that's kind of where the 5 of Wands comes in. It's like, okay, if it stresses you out, if it makes you feel pulled in 18 million different directions, that's where you're going to head. And that's where you have to be mindful, Aquarius, because during this time, if you spread yourself too thin, okay, as the world opens, as you're looking at things, as you're seeing what battles to fight, the public arena won't see it as much. People will not see you being as affected. Your emotional self You're standing your ground, you're knowing your truth. You're like, okay, emotionally, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. Personally, for yourself, it's like, I just can't. You can't go after, well, you can do, what feels right to you. But going after what freaks you out the most, what brings you the most stretch, the most agita, the most imbalance within yourself, and saying, that is going to be what I conquer. And I am not going to rest until I have that conquered, is going to make you feel as if you failed. Is going to make you feel overwhelmed and insignificant, and as if you have been pulled in 18 million different directions and don't know your path anymore. And so as you surrender to the divine during this full moon, call upon the warrior aspect of you, because this warrior aspect makes even the meekest of us strong, makes even the meekest of us into warriors. And that is where your power comes from. And that is the power that you're pulling upon during this moon. And as you do so, on the 16th of October, you move into the new moon in Libra. And the new moon in Libra says a new romantic cycle begins. Now you have the king and the queen of swords right here. So you have love coming into your life. This balance, this love, this understanding, this beauty, and this truth. Here, a new start is coming. And you know that a new start is coming. You are entering into a beginner's mindset. This is a place for beginnings. And this is a time of beginnings, harnessing the energy, focusing your potential, defining your boundaries, and calling upon change. And as you do so, you balance the scales. And this isn't just, the moon that lets you start. This is the moon that lets you find the passion and the romantic cycle within your life. This is the moon that lets you call upon the beauty, that lets you call upon the elegance and eloquence of existence and self, to move forward in balance, in understanding, and in triumph. Then on the 31st of October, we have the full moon in Taurus. And this says your dreams need a practical plan. And that's what you've been mapping out in October, in the 1st of October, with the full moon in Aries. These moons play beautifully off each other. It's like, this is my passion, this is my purpose, this is my truth, this is what I'm calling forward to be that fiery climax of my existence. And yes, that sounds, a bit much, like it does, and it sounds kind of erotic, but it doesn't have to be. It is this creative energy, or it can be, if that's what you want. But it's about making your dreams a reality. It's about calling upon the power, the passion, the beauty of self, and saying, this is what I need, this is what I want, and this is where I stand. My dreams need a practical plan. From the 31st of October onward, your dreams are going to need a practical plan. You're going to see that about yourself. It's like, I need this to move me forward. I need to be living this truth, embracing this power, gaining this understanding, moving forward in this purpose. Your dreams need to be coming to life. And the Aries full moon helps these dreams start to come to life, because it helps you begin. It's like having a really messy room, right? And I mean, if you're a clutter bug like me, all of a sudden, like, things get really messy really fast. And you're like, man, how did this happen? And you don't want to see it. You just don't. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm so tired. But if you do little by little, you can get it done. But if you say, I'm going to do the whole thing right now, it's too much. You're already tired to begin with. It's too much. So here, that is going to be like your dreams during this time. It's being that warrior of your truth. It's standing in your power. It's knowing your purpose. And as you do so, you take flight. Your spirit animals for this time are the crow spirit and the dove spirit. And they seem like such opposites, because the dove calls in peace, and a flock of crows is called a murder of crows. So when you have these two coming together, you're going to think, oh, well, this is odd. But this energy is brilliant, because yes, the dove calls in peace. It brings you messages of peace and of hope, and it helps heal hurting hearts. Doesn't everybody have a hurting heart right now, with the world being so intensely much? And it brings a gentleness of compassion, and it brings a understanding of truth, and it helps us release ourselves from pain. And the crow is this warrior bird, okay? So the thing I love about crows, and I do love crows, is that they're so... they get such a bad rap because they're ominous looking, right? And they have that weird call thing, and it's kind of spooky, and you always see them around Halloween, and you always see them with like symbols of death and destruction. But crows can actually learn more words than parrots can. And there's this extreme knowledge and this extreme loyalty to a crow. Crows right now are calling in change into your life. That bitter battle cry of a crow is the cry of Aries, of the warrior. Okay? Yeah, of the god of war to the battles of our lives. And it's not for our lives, it's of our lives. It's instead of just living, or instead of just existing or living, it is living powerfully. It is being, just this vibrant beacon of creativity, love, life. It doesn't mean you have to be known on the worldwide stage. It means that you move forward with gentility and honor and understanding of self. And as you do so, you're embracing your sacred laws. And that's what the crow is calling in. You're learning to trust yourself and your intuition and, see what you stand for and what you want. And as you do this, you speak your truth. And you evolve with a transformation. You become transformed. And it brings us messages of how to move forward, of how to be transformed, of how to be empowered. Because the world is opening to you with the Two of Wands. The way forward is not just mapped out in one direction. All of a sudden, the way forward is so much more vast, so much more powerful than you had realized. And then the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, he's holding the world in his hand. It's like, okay, I can get this. I got this. You know that song, You Hold the Whole World in Your Hand? Well, it's kind of like that. It's kind of like the doubts, the fears, the angers, the upsets, the fear that comes in. You know how when you're thinking about something and then somebody says something and then all of a sudden the whole, way of the conversation can change because it brings up a fear in you that you didn't realize you still had. And when you see the Two of Wands, it's like, I do not have to be afraid. I can move forward. Things can change. Things can evolve. You have the Five of Wands right here. And that's the internal chaos. It's like this doubt, this fear, this, anxiety that you didn't know you had. It's around your passion. So it can be around work, most definitely. It can be around, here you have the fire, right? So this is passion. This is work. This is the reason for getting out of bed in the morning. This is creativity. This is love. This is desires. And the war within, the being pulled in so many directions, it's like, but how? How do I get there? And it can also be with just regular conversation. You can find that all of a sudden you think you're having a regular conversation and then all of a sudden things start taking a turn and like people are on edge. And it's kind of like, why is that? And it's because everybody is embracing this warrior energy, which can make them a little bit more snippy, a little bit more kind of fiery than you had originally thought they should be, or than you had originally expected. And so here there's this pull inside where it's like, well, how do I move forward? And how do I get to where it is that I want? And what is it that I desire? And it's kind of like, okay, the first thing you have to do, which is going to be so counterintuitive that it's going to seem silly, it's like, stop fighting. Do not step on every single stone. Okay? Stop fighting. Let yourself move forward. Let yourself be transformed. Let yourself be empowered. And with the Seven of Wands, it's looking at what you desire, looking at what you want, looking at what you need, and saying, okay, I'm moving forward in my passion, I'm moving forward in my truth, I'm going after what I want in life, I'm looking at what I desire, and I cannot fight every fight. I cannot, I just can't. I can't. I can't get everybody to see what I'm seeing. I can't get everybody to understand what I am saying. And so I step back. And I step back and I embrace my truth and myself and my understanding and my becoming. And with the Seven of Wands, there is a bit of the High Priestess energy, especially around this one with the owl showing up. That brings wisdom, that brings greater understanding, that brings greater truth, that, grounds you and moves you forward. And it's like, okay, I now know what I stand for and why I stand for it. And as this moves you forward, it moves you to the Five of Swords. And the Five of Swords is, well, that's what it's going to feel like. It's like, oh my gosh, there is going to be a freeing. There is something that you are facing. And you've faced it before. And you might face it again, okay? Because with karmic lessons, even when you've taken in that lesson and you've learned it, sometimes spirit comes in, divinity comes in and tests us again. It's like, well, did you really learn it? Can you now stand up for yourself? Can you not feel guilty about this? How do you move forward? And so with the Five of Swords, you're looking at your passion, you're looking at what you desire, you're looking at what you want, and you're moving towards something more. And what you're seeing here is the power of standing up for yourself, the power of claiming your truth, of knowing what you desire. And there's an anxiety here, and I'm feeling it in my shoulders, in my arms, around, having to face this, or having to move forward, or thinking maybe I'm just not doing the right thing. And you're looking at things and you're saying, how? How do I move to where I need to be? How do I embrace what I want, what I desire from life? How I claim my passion, my truth, my power. And this is facing the things in our lives that we would rather keep hidden away, the things that make us feel uncomfortable, the things that need to be addressed. It can also be facing the times where we react a little bit too headstrongly or too intensely, and then have to kind of step back and say, okay, well, why did I do this? What pattern is this showing within my life, within myself? And as you do so, your heart shows you the truth, the power, and the brilliance that is you. This is your passion, this is your truth, this is your beauty coming in, this is the Hierophant in the major arcana. So this is also Taurus energy. So very strong pull to the full moon on October 31st. But there's an anxiety here. There's a sense of needing to listen to yourself, needing to look at what you want from your life. There is a pins and needles feeling that is coming from this card, okay? That is coming from this energy. It's like, how do I move forward? How do I connect with me? Am I doing the right thing? Am I not doing the right thing? 500,000 different ways to question yourself. And it makes being a warrior hard because it's almost like you're tripping over your own feet. And this card is saying, step back. What your heart is saying is step back. Listen to yourself. Listen to your truth. You know so much more, and you're so much more connected, Aquarius, than you give yourself credit for. Embrace that connectivity. Embrace that power. Move in that truth. Move in that beauty. And as you do so, you start to listen to your inner child. That inner child starts coming out. And you start seeing why. What is needed. How you want to move forward. What is it that you desire? And it brings you to gathering up your truth, gathering up your knowledge, and moving towards something more. It might make you feel sneaky. You might. While you're planning things, you might think, oh, I should be much more open, much more honest. But why? Why? You're still planning. It's not like you've made any decisions yet. You're taking this knowledge and you are moving forward in your mind. And your mind is connecting with your heart. And that's very powerful, especially for an air sign energy. When your mind connects with your heart, you become almost unstoppable. When your mind connects with your heart, you see a truth that others so easily overlook. You're leaving things behind that have weighed you down and held you back, that have made you forget your voice, that have made you doubt yourself. And as you do this, okay, there's a road, there's kind of this road of stumble that leads you to being a king. And it's kind of like you accidentally pick up the crown. You accidentally pull the sword out of the stone. You embrace this kingliness. You embrace this power right here in the public arena. But here within your heart, you embrace the beauty of a queen, right? You embrace this knowledge, this understanding. This is the warrior king and the warrior queen spirit coming forward. Okay, you're not afraid to harness this power of Aries. And yeah, you can actually see, Aquarius, that as an air sign energy, your passion, your power fuels the fire of Aries. So be very mindful of how much passion, how much fire you give to it, because things can really get intense during this time. This is a sense of knowing your mind and speaking your truth and seeing a greater understanding and moving forward towards something more, and but not letting stand in your way the doubts, the fears, anxieties that have held you back before. This is the beginning. This is the freedom of self. This is being more behind the scenes, because think of the kings as the actors upon the stage, the queens as behind the scenes, because plenty of queen ruled a kingdom, okay? But the king did not, okay? Because the king wasn't able to. So here it is that power, it is that truth, it is that purpose leading you forward, guiding you, embracing your strength, embracing what you desire. And it's not stepping down. It's not stepping back. It's like, no, I know this. I know my truth. I know where I stand. I know what I stand for. And as you do so, you push out and you silence the doubts, the fears, the anxiety, the everything that is thrown at you from everybody else. And it's like, I don't have time for this. It brings you to your knees. Why? Because Aquarius, you have such a heart. You have such a heart. You have such an emotional way of connecting. And you have such a power of healing and beauty that you can't help but, be emotionally connected. But life is like a battlefield. And we have our battles that we fight. Some of them are astoundingly personal, and some of them have other people around us. But it's not tuning out. Yes, it is. So life is a battle, and we are brought to our knees by it. We are tested in ways that we never thought we would be. We have this fire and this beauty to ourselves that we are looking to accept. And this is a channeling of it. It is seeing how far you have come, how much you have overcome, how powerful you are. And it's as you're seeing this, you're looking at the world, and the world is shouting at you. And because you are so intuitively inclined, the world shouting at you can feel like a sucker punch. And that's one of the things, the life lessons here. It's like, how do you stand in your truth without letting the rest of the world sway you, make you doubt yourself, knock you down, drag you out? And you here are finding this transformative truth, this transformative fire to become more. And it blesses you. It anoints you. You say to the rest of the world, you can have your opinion, but I'm filtering, okay? I am taking in what I need to take in, and I'm leaving the rest, because the rest of it will drown you. It will become overwhelming, and it will keep you from moving in the direction you need to move. The Page of Cups. This is loving. This is healing. This is an anointment. And this is anointing you with this healing, beautiful energy. This is a sense of being a student of your heart and your soul as you are being a queen of your mind and a king of your mind. So this energy comes in, and you would expect to see these two entities, these two monarchs here in the public arena, but it's in the heart and in the public arena that you are asserting your power. And it is internally that you have this bit of a battle, because you are a warrior and you are conquering what has held you back. And here you are a student. You are seeing, you are learning, you are understanding what is needed, what makes you thrive, what moves you forward, what blesses you, what guides you. This is also getting messages, okay? You will find the most interesting, intricate messages come to you from Spirit in the public arena. Speak to your heart, okay? And you wouldn't expect to find these messages in the public arena. This would be something much more personal, much more private, but it comes to you in the oddest, most kind of fantastical of ways. It then moves you to the King of Swords. The King of Swords, cutting through doubts and fears, knowing your mind, claiming your power, knowing what it is that you want, taking that crown and crowning yourself with it, taking that sword and letting it be yours. This is claiming a kingdom of your soul, of yourself, and of your worth. What is your crown? What is your anointing truth? What is the power that guides you and the words that move you? What are your blessings? And where do you stand? The King of Swords cuts through the doubts and the fears, the angers and the upset. The King of Swords is seen much more than the Queen of Swords is. Okay? The Queen of Swords is that behind the scenes power. Okay? Astoundingly important, yes, but still can move much more freely. I like to think of these as like chess pieces. The King and the Queen as chess pieces. The King doesn't move as freely as the Queen does. I know people say romantically, how does that help me? It doesn't. It doesn't. But it is the way. Oh, well, now that I coughed, I'm thinking, well, it probably does. It probably does, because there is an authority of movement here that needs to be addressed. But we're talking about the power of the moon. We're talking about a new romantic cycle beginning. And there is a way behind the scenes that things will move much more freely, much more openly, much more positively, much more impactfully than they will in the public arena. And I think that's what it's saying. Yes, that is what it's saying. Spirit's like, yeah, you got it right. So here, there's a passion and the power of what you want and what you desire and where you need to be and what you are standing for within your life. And as you're taking hold of it, you're taking hold of you. And as you're looking at it more deeply, you're looking at you. You're looking at the duality of yourself. It's the two cups when we have the star card, the two cups that are being poured into the water. And it is the masculine energy and it is the feminine energy coming together, and it is the desire for the highest form of perfection within the mind, within the soul, within the self that you crave. That is what you're moving towards during this time. The sense of stepping into your power and your worth. You claim this crown, you claim this throne. Think of what crowns you. Think of the words that crown you, the energy that crowns you, the blessings that crown you, the beauty that crowns you. And then it leads you to the Fool. The Fool is looking at things and seeing a change. The Fool is looking at what you need and what you want from your life and beginning. And everybody will tell you you are foolish. Everybody will tell you, oh, how insane. But it becomes so much more. It becomes your hero's journey. It becomes your quest of self. It becomes the power that guides you. The Fool is the step forward. And the first step is always the hardest. But, so is the second and the third. So there is a battle there. And that's where you're channeling this energy. And it is the battle of starting, of restoring your vitality and your vigor and your energy and your passion and your purpose and that spark for living that sometimes seems to go out. It's not just you, it's in everybody's life. It's like, oh, wow, where is that spark and where is that beauty, especially with things being so odd, right? There is this beauty that needs to be embraced. There is this power that needs to come forward. And there is this blessing that is a part of you. And you begin your hero's quest. You begin a hero's truth. And as you do so, you have the Temperance card. And where you, Aquarius, pour out, Temperance pours in. And here I do know it looks like it's pouring out, but there's a container right here. It's pouring in. It is taking the waters, and in the traditional cards in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, they're pouring into each other. And in some older decks, and I forget the names of them, one cup is gold, the other cup is silver. And that shows the day and the night. That shows the different aspects of our souls and ourselves. And so here, the waters are being filled with this energy, this power, this prowess, this honesty, this truth. And it is a balance that is coming forward. So as you are anointed here, you are anointed here. As these blessings come and pour over you, they are cherished within you, and they open up a world that you hadn't expected. And they open up an understanding to yourself that has been lost for some time. How will Aquarius be affected by the October 1st, 2020 full moon? How will Aquarius be affected by the October 1st, 2020 full moon? How will Aquarius be affected by the October 1st, 2020 full moon? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. How will Aquarius be affected by the October 1st, 2020 full moon? How will Aquarius be affected by the October 1st, 2020 full moon? How will Aquarius be affected by the October 1st, 2020 full moon? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Ooh, okay, hold on. Everything is going to fall. Okay, these ones here. All right. Angels and spirit guides. Fantastic. Okay. So we start off here. We have self-love, will, and void. Then we have sovereignty, which we see from the king and the queen, your king and queen showing up. Don't let pride get in the way. Nothing is set in stone, which is always nice to know. Don't let your past hold you back. Expect powerful change. You and your loved ones are safe. And that's just, ooh, I got chills. Oh, this moon gives me chills for you. It really does. This moon, like, it affects you in such a profound way. And it hits you hard. It hits you hard, and it releases so much that has been pent up within you. Being the warrior is not necessarily, like in that wording, it's not necessarily what Aquarius is always comfortable with. Okay? So you might not always be comfortable with being the warrior. You might find yourself being the warrior more often than you would like to be. But as you're looking at it and as you are embracing your life and yourself, you might find that it is a hard road, a hard role to step into, a hard road to walk. But you have this self-love, you have this beauty, that you have this acceptance coming in, and there is a will to you, there's a power to you, there's a brilliance to you that comes forward. And as the self-love comes in, it's as the world opens and as the doubts and fears come, it's like, okay, let me focus on me, let me focus on what is right for me, what is truthful for me, and then the will to fight the good fight, to move forward in what is right for you, to move forward in that empowerment. And then you have void coming forward with the Five of Swords. As you face this karmic death, there is a void that comes. There is an emptiness, or it's not an emptiness. You might think it is an emptiness, because once you have a battle, or once you have something that you fought so hard for come to a head, it might feel like, well, what the heck's next? But the void is like the settling around you of the quiet. It leads you to sovereignty. Sovereignty of self, sovereignty of soul. And what's very interesting is that sovereignty did not come up over the queen. It came here over the embracing of the power of the self and the taking up of your knowledge. Know your sovereignty. Know your truth. As you do so, don't let pride get in the way. So that comes up over the queen. Like, don't let pride get in your way. Don't think, oh, I have the answers. Listen. Say here, I know a truth. Let me share it. Or I have answers, let me share them. There's a power to you, there's a confidence to you, there's a brilliance to you. But like, I just keep on hearing pride cometh before the fall. It's like, don't think that it's set in stone. Oh, yes, because nothing is, I didn't even realize that. Nothing is set in stone. And as the world comes at you, and you could get prideful, you're like, sitting there with the world coming at you, and it's like, oh my gosh, stop, I know what I'm doing, or at least I'm trying, but nothing is set in stone. Let things have a malleability. Yeah, I think that's the word. Yes, let things have a fluidity to them. Let things ebb and flow and become and change and be. Nothing is set in stone. Know that. And as you know that, as you take that in, don't let your past hold you back. As you are learning and as you are embracing your kingliness, as you are placing that crown upon your head and taking up your sword, do not let your past hold you back. Stay in the power of your present. Stay in the power of your truth. Expect powerful change, because powerful change is coming. Again, this moon hits you hard. It is intense, it is powerful, and again, it gives me chills. Oh my gosh. For like the way that you are moving forward, the way that you are handling this, the power and the energy that you are calling into yourself. And as you do this, you know that you and your loved ones are safe. It doesn't mean that nothing bad will ever happen. It means that there is a protective love around you, a security and an understanding as you're moving forward. And there is a beauty to your existence that brings a centeredness and a peace to you. Your subconscious message from Luna is discernment. Be discerning with who you give your energy to, your time, your attention. It's not being rude. It's like, okay, I can only do so much. Be discerning. It leads you to the end of a tough cycle approaching. It leads you to an end of the anger, the doubts, the fears. Not all of them, but it's like it's been so hard. And the end of a tough cycle is coming forward. And as that end of a tough cycle comes forward, you have the Knight of Swords. So you have the King, you have the Queen of Swords, and now you have you as the Knight. You are a warrior. You are a warrior, Aquarius, and you are embracing this warrior mentality, this warrior power of the moon so thoroughly, so powerfully that it is breathtaking. You cut through your doubts and your fears. You find you stand in your truth so much more honestly than you ever have before. So much more powerfully, with such a strong and decisive will. All right, Aquarius. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony, oh goodness, excuse me. May harmony always be with you. I am sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we move forward in beauty and in confidence, as we embrace this profound warrior spirit that really does affect us, mind, body, and soul, and brings us to a strength that we might not have known we had, and leads us to a power we might have forgotten is part of our birthright. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Aquarius. And may you have a blessed moon.